Hey there. In this video, I reveal a proven process that anyone, regardless of their financial education, their background, where they grew up, anyone can follow this to become a multi-millionaire. I'm going to show you practical steps and insightful tips that have the power to change your life forever. And I want you to watch as I break this journey down. I'll share personal experiences and actionable advice that's been proven to work for many, many years, centuries even. So whether you're just starting out or looking to boost your existing wealth, this video offers valuable guidance to set you on the path to financial freedom once and for all, and it's not hard to do. And for the past 30 years, I've been showing thousands of people of all walks of life how to create cash flow and build wealth. Many have done extremely well and are enjoying their life stress-free and in peace. But sadly, too many people choose to hope everything will work out in the end. Hope someone or something will take care of them in the future. Folks, I'm here to tell you, in my 30 years, hope is not a strategy. In 2024, more people will turn 65 than ever before. In fact, every single day, get this, 11,200 Americans will turn 65 every day. The question you need to ask, are you ready or are you preparing for your retirement? And sadly, for most people, they are not. And I've seen it far too often, and it's the worst conversation I will ever have to have with somebody who comes into my office who says, John, I've worked my tail off for the last 30, 35 years, and I want to retire. But as soon as I look at their financials, I know immediately they cannot. They're either going to have to continue working at a job they no longer can do or want to do, or they're going to have to scale back their retirement dreams radically. And I'll tell you, that is the hardest conversation I've had in my career. And frankly, this is why you see so many elderly people still working in fast food, retail, Walmart, or what have you. And it's not because they want to. So if you want to have an amazing financial future, follow this, and I guarantee you will. And by the way, this first example I'm going to share with you, I would highly, highly encourage you to share this with others, particularly young people. It will blow their mind and may even blow your mind. And it's absolutely maddening and criminal that this isn't taught in schools. But let's be honest, that's done on purpose, but that's a whole nother story. So this is Bobby the bartender. And at the age of 20, I know he looks a little older, but at the age of 20, Bobby decided to take on a part-time job bartending 2 nights a week in the evening. And this was on top of his day job. So this was just extra work 2 nights a week. And by the way, did you know that by the year 2027, over half of the U.S. workforce will be freelancers? Half. Whether full-time or as a side hustle alongside a main job, the gig economy is rapidly taking over the workplace, and it's evident that this is not only occurring in the United States, but this is worldwide, folks. And this gig economy accounts for up to 12% of the global labor market, and that's according to the World Bank, which is much higher than previously estimated. And this news comes at a time when the annual inflation rate is soaring dramatically. Now, inflation has cooled down a little bit compared to a few years ago, but its prices are still very high and inflation is still rising just at a slightly slower pace than before. In fact, just this morning I saw the news that a Big Mac meal at McDonald's in 2019 was $5.99. Today, May of 2024, that same Big Mac meal is $12.19. That's a 112% increase in just 5 years. And we're seeing this in everything, right? It's just another reason the gig economy and the side hustles are becoming so popular. And in a minute, I'm going to show you the top side hustles for 2024 where you can make a ton of money and completely transform your financial life forever. All right, so let's go back to Bobby the bartender. So Bobby goes back to bartending. Remember, 2 nights a week, and he's making $100 a night bartending, which isn't much, frankly. You could be doing a lot more. And that would equate, if you do the math, to $800 per month, right? 200 a week times 4, that's 800. And he did this for 10 years until he reached the age of 30, and then he stopped his side hustle and just relied on his normal job to cover his lifestyle. Along the way, he took that $200 every single week and he put it into the S&P 500 stock index fund. And you can find these at any brokerage or financial institution, probably any bank, and they're extremely inexpensive to invest in, almost dirt cheap. And if you look at the overall return of the S&P 500, which by the way, the S&P 500 is a basket of the 500 largest stocks in America. And so when you put $100 into it, It instantly diversifies amongst those 500 companies. That's the beauty of using it. And the S&P 500 is a benchmark of the overall performance of the stock market. And the average return, going back, 100 years, has been on average 10%. Now, that does not mean that it's up 10% every year, because as you know, the stock market goes up and down. What that means is if you smooth out those returns over time, the average rate of return of the S&P 500 or the stock market has been 10%. And that's where Bobby the bartender has been putting his money week after week, year after year for 10 years. So over those 10 years, he put in, if you do the math, 10 years, $800 a month, that's $9,600 a year for 10 years. That would mean he had put away $96,000 into this S&P 500. And that's it. At that point, at age 30, he stopped putting anything more into it. So for 35 years, after he stopped his side hustle, making $200 a week, take a wild guess how much money Bobby the bartender had by the time he hit retirement age. And I kind of gave it away in the title. At age 65, retirement, Bobby the bartender had $5.636 million. And of course, that's on top of any other savings or 401k money he had at his workplace. This is just 2 nights a week, folks, at $100 per night. Imagine doubling that to $400 a week between you and your spouse, perhaps. Now you're looking at $11.2 million for simply 10 years of your life. And the work isn't hard, right? And today, with this thing right here, your smartphone and the internet, it's easier than ever to hit $200 a week, if not a ton more. Boy, I wish I had this when I was younger. So I did a lot of research, and I found the top side hustles that you can do right away, immediately today, to start generating instant easy cash flow that could easily get you that $200 a week. The question I must ask you, you really have to ponder, think hard about, is your financial future a priority? I mean, is it a real priority for you and your family? I mean, at the core of who you are. And I ask these questions a lot to these people, and they say, yes, of course, John. It's absolutely a priority, and then nothing happens. If your financial future is a priority, I mean deep, deep priority in your soul, which it should be, in order to live an amazing life, free of financial stress and anxiety and insomnia and nervousness, anxiousness that is literally killing people. And I'm sorry to be so brutally honest here, but it's super, super important that you take this very seriously. Because I've seen too many lives ruined because of their financial problems, particularly financial stress. And stress is a killer. All right, so let's get into these. You all know about Uber, right? If you have a car, you could be making a lot of money very, very quickly, just a few nights a week. My cousin is a realtor, and therefore the income can be inconsistent. So he drives Uber periodically. And he told me, he said, just in a few hours a night, you could easily make $100. Easy. And then he says, if you hit it hard for 2 weekends, you could pay your mortgage. That's a direct quote from him. Folks, to me, this is a no-brainer if you own a car, or if you lease a car, rent, whatever. Uber's an easy way to make a lot of money and hit that $200 a week goal. Here's another great one I love. I have a love-hate relationship because it costs me a lot of money. It's dog walking. And this is one of the apps, Rover, where you can hire approved dog walkers, or you can sign up to be a dog walker, right? Doesn't take much skill to be a dog walker. And you can make a ton of cash simply by walking a dog for 20 minutes a day, or in our case, twice a day. When my wife and I travel, we need to hire a dog walker twice a day. And that runs about $35 a pop, or $70 a day for someone to come in and walk Mila for 20 minutes. You can get a couple of those a week, and you're set for your $200 a week easily, if not a lot more. Fiverr is an amazing service that I use a lot personally to find people to do odd jobs for me. Logo design, thumbnails for my YouTube channel, editors, flyers, virtual assistant. In fact, true story, I found a guy who would dress up like Marilyn Monroe and sing happy birthday to your friend, or in my case, my friend. I paid him $45 to do that, and it took him literally 3 minutes. You can find all kinds of services. Whatever you're good at, you can offer your services there and start making money. In fact, here's an idea for you. Even if you have no artistic skill whatsoever, you could start your own logo and graphic design company. Here's why. I would find high quality, inexpensive logo designers around the world, or graphic designers, right? And you can find them very inexpensively. And let's say they charge $10 to $20 to do a design, a logo design. I would set up an account for yourself and offer logo and graphic design services for $50 or $100. And when an order came in, I'd outsource it to my team of graphic designers and make the $40 to $50 to $60 to $100 difference. Very, very easy. Basically, you're setting up your own graphic design team. And then you could scale up the pricing depending on the level of services that you want to offer somebody. And you could do this all day long and just sit back and basically let money come in as you outsource new jobs to experts. Really easy. Then you have Upwork, which is similar to Fiverr, but really for higher level of services. And again, if you have a specific skill or expertise or something special to offer, do the same thing here as you would on Fiverr, but you'd be charging probably a lot more. And I would just go to Upwork or Fiverr and just look around and find all the different gigs that people offer, and something may resonate with you that you could be offering as well. You have affiliate marketing. You probably heard of this. It's become extremely popular. Basically, you're identifying popular products on Amazon or other websites, and then you are selling their product and getting a commission, many times a very handsome commission for doing so. There's no inventory. There's really no costs. Once you find that product or multiple products and you set it up properly, you can just sit back and collect revenue off of Amazon. There's obviously more to it than that. And by the way, it's definitely an area to check out. You can go to Instagram, and there's all kinds of people that are offering training on how to do this. Quite incredible. Another crazy thing in this day and age, you can take online surveys and get paid. According to ZipRecruiter, as of March of 2024, the average hourly pay for an online survey taker in the United States is $31 an hour. Online survey, $31 an hour. And there are a lot of survey sites that pay you. Do some research to find the best one for you and just start taking surveys. Swagbucks, for example, reports that most legit sites pay between 25 cents to $5 for surveys. It notes, on Swagbucks, you can find surveys paying up to $20 or more depending on how detailed the survey is or the needs of the market research firm. And that in some cases, some home surveys can pay $100 or more just sitting at your home taking a survey. Just be wary of scam sites that are looking for personal information such as your bank account or your social security number. And check out the site on Trustpilot or with the Better Business Bureau before you sign up. And one that looks really legit is Inbox Dollars, inboxdollars.com. All right, here's another one. You can make money reviewing music online. There's a service called slicethepie.com or songreviewera.com. You can earn $12 to $28 an hour. If you love music, get paid for your opinions. This is amazing. God, I wish I had this when I was starting out. I mean, think about that. Review music online and get paid to do it. I mean, folks, there is simply no excuse to start earning your $200 a week. Then you have DoorDash. You can deliver food. Make money during your free time by delivering food to people. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Melio, Grubhub are all great examples of food delivery services for which you could work and make money. And again, it's just a few hours a week. You could hit your goal easily. Same goes for groceries. Delivering groceries. Instacart, Shipt, SHIPT, and Burpee are all examples of grocery delivery services. And delivery companies usually allow you to decide whether or not you want to take the order. And most also have the option for customer tips, which could really increase your earnings and accelerate you to achieve your goal. How about babysitting, right? Does the idea of spending time caring for babies or children sound like it's kind of the warm and fuzzies? If so, babysitting might just be for you. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of people out there that will pay top dollar for good and trustworthy babysitters. And let me just rattle off several others. I know a guy who cleans windows on the weekend, makes a fortune. You could start a landscaping business, mowing a few yards after work or on the weekend. Even detailing cars. You can make a boatload of money. Build up a clientele of 5 or 10 consistent customers and you're golden. The other thing that I just learned is a guy started a carpet cleaning business. He's a firefighter. And yes, that takes a little bit more capital. He bought an old van and then the carpet cleaning machine, but he is making bank. $300 to $400 for a house to clean carpets. I know a guy who started a solar panel cleaning business. That's right, and he is making bank. Costs us about $300 a year to clean our solar panels. And obviously it's a little bit more dangerous. Got to be careful. And it's best if you're not afraid of heights, but this could be a great weekend side hustle to make a lot of money as he is. All you need is a ladder and a scrubber. That's pretty much all you need. And with the popularity and the push to make us all get solar, this service is going to be in demand more than ever. And the reason you want your solar panels cleaned at least every year, if not twice a year, is that when they're covered in dust and dirt, they don't absorb as much sunlight as when they're clean. So it actually saves the customer by having clean solar panels. So it's a win-win, and there's a strong demand for this service and getting stronger. Here's one of my own that I always thought about, is setting up a teeth whitening business. Here in California, I know many states around the country and around the world don't need a license. All you need to do is rent a room, get a chair, and the equipment to do the teeth whitening. Yes, there's a little capital needed, but it's not that much. And there's so much demand for this service. In fact, we used to have someone here, a really nice lady doing it in my town, but she retired, and now I can't find anybody. And she would set me up in her chair. Took her 3 minutes. I'd lay there for 20 minutes while I got my teeth clean, while she collected $50 a pop simply reading a book. And she had just a constant flow of new people coming in. And that's a great business. You all know about tutoring. If you can read, write, add 2 and 2, you could be a tutor. And I will add, you could teach a course as well, whether it's knitting, guitar, cooking, gardening, investing, buying stocks, home repairs. Guarantee you have a skill that somebody else wants that you can teach on platforms such as Teachable and Udemy. So easy. And I'm telling you, you have skills that people want. Get to the end here. You can get paid to test apps and websites. Nothing will halt a business faster than a website riddled with issues or an app that doesn't work. So developers get testers to go in and push all the links and play with all the buttons to make sure things work before they go live. And guess what? You get paid for that. And some competitive gigs offer up to $100 for a 60-minute test. So there's a lot of money to be made here. Just Google it, find it, and there will be companies that will support this. Writing a book can be a great way to diversify your income streams for several reasons. The one being passive income. Now, before you stop, you can write a book very, very easily. I'm telling you, just hang in there. And writing a book can provide easy and steady streams of passive income, which means that once the book is written, and stay with me here, it can continue to generate income without any additional work on your part. And again, before you say you're not a writer and you don't have time to write a book, you don't need any of that. No writing skills and really no time required. I mean, there is some required, but not as much as you would think. Because with ChatGPT, you can put out books super, super easy for a very low, if not no cost at all. And again, you get that recurring income every time a book sells. One area that's popular, children's books or guidebooks. Go to Amazon.com, check out various books or guidebooks that are very popular. I was looking earlier at a guidebook called The Clever Fox Budget Planner that sells for $19.99. They have over 29,000 reviews, which means they have way over 30,000 customers because not everyone leaves a review, right? And that author just gets paid every single time someone buys, basically making money while they sleep. And the royalties on Amazon, they change all the time, but I believe it's around 60% of the cost of the book, and then you have to subtract printing costs from that if you sell a hard copy. But many just sell the ebook, so there is no printing costs. So a lot of money can be made here. Just check and see what's popular and go ahead and duplicate it. Because with ChatGPT, you can just take something that's worked, modify it to your liking, and then let ChatGPT do all the work for you, including the book cover. In a short period of time, possibly in a weekend, you could be selling your book on Amazon and making money. It's really that easy, folks. And then lastly, another popular way to generate easy cash flow is with remote customer service. When you call into a company for customer service, most of the time you're speaking to someone at their home, and they're making bank just sitting at their kitchen counter taking calls. And there are a bunch of customer sourcing companies like above screen FlexJobs, RemoteJobs.io, and Indeed.com, which is a very popular one. And then there are placement services for a ton of companies around the world for you to handle their customer service. And now you're making $18 to $40 an hour just answering phone calls from your home. To me, that's a no-brainer. And finally, there's a website called sidehustles.com, and there you'll find all kinds of side hustles, including the ones that I just mentioned, which again happen to be the most popular side hustles of 2024. So let's take a trip down memory lane again and remember our friend Bobby the bartender. $100 a night, 2 times a week, that's $200 per week. That equates to $800 per month for 10 years, and then he stops. Puts that consistently into the S&P 500 every single week. Total investment of $96,000. And at the age of 65, Bobby the bartender has $5.6 million. I mean, just think about what your life, your retirement life, what your family would look like with $5.6 million. Talk about peace of mind. The big question is it a priority? And I really hope you make it a priority because it is a life changer. Now, lastly, I don't necessarily view this as a side hustle, but it certainly could be. Given the fact that I only spend 30 to 45 minutes generating thousands of dollars every week or every couple of weeks doing this. And this is my cash flow wealth building system that I teach in my program called the Cash Flow Bootcamp. And this is a proven system, highly effective, used by thousands of people. And all I did was codify this popular strategy and I put it into a step-by-step system that anyone can learn, regardless of your background, your financial literacy, anyone. And it's the exact same strategy my soon to be in a month, 94-year-old father uses to this day to generate $15,000 to $20,000 per month as a hobby, and he's been doing it for the past 13 years. He's 94, folks. In fact, in February and March of 2024, he hit $40,000 for each of those months. And of course, I use the exact same strategy that I teach, very, very successfully. And if you want to learn more how you can pick up this system in a very quick manner, spending less than 60 minutes a week, check out the link below at johnmcgregor.net/free masterclass. And after that, if you want, you have a chance to schedule some time with my team or myself to tell you more about it in the details. All right, well, I really hope that this was an enlightening video, and I really hope that you take it to heart, and I also hope that you send this out to other people that can really use it, because there's a lot of people struggling. Most people are struggling financially today, especially because of the inflation. And they really need a system or a side hustle to get their lives together. And we all need to help each other. So with that, I wish you an amazing future. Keep me posted on your progress. Leave me a comment below. And if you have another side hustle that you like or recommend, please share it with the group. Until next time, we'll see you again. Aloha. Bye-bye.